You've probably seen them side by side, the two undisputed champions of the all-purpose kitchen knife world. In one corner, the classic, assertive Western chef's knife with its confident curve and pointed tip. In the other, the Japanese Santoku, a shorter, more stoic blade with its distinctive sheep's foot nose. They both promise to be the one knife you need for almost everything, but they get there through entirely different philosophies of cutting. This isn't just about German versus Japanese steel or what a celebrity chef uses. It's a fundamental difference in geometry and motion that dictates how you interact with your food. Let's break down what truly separates them. Blade shape. Here's what matters most because the shape of the blade dictates the cutting motion. Take a look at a classic French or German chef's knife. You'll notice the edge has a prominent curve, or belly, that sweeps up to a sharp, pointed tip. This curve is the entire point. It's designed to be the engine for a rocking motion, where the tip of the knife stays in contact with the cutting board, while the heel does the work, rolling through herbs or mincing garlic. That pointed tip is also your tool for detail work, like scoring meat or getting into the tight corners of an onion. It's a design born from a tradition of versatility, giving you both broad strokes and fine points in one tool. Now shift your eyes to the Santoku. The first thing you'll notice is that the dramatic curve is gone. The Santoku's edge is significantly flatter, and instead of a pointed tip, the spine curves down to meet the edge, a shape often called a sheep's foot profile. This completely changes the game. A Santoku isn't built for rocking. It's built for a direct downward chop or a smooth push cut. The entire philosophy shifts from a rolling motion across the board to a clean, efficient up and down movement. The name Santoku itself translates to 3 virtues, which refers to its prowess in slicing, dicing, and mincing. It's all about direct, precise contact with the board. Typical length and profile. Chef's knives are generally the longer of the two, typically measuring between 8 and 10 inches, with 8 inches being the most common all-rounder. That extra length gives you more cutting edge to work with in a single pass, which is fantastic for slicing through large items like a cabbage, a roast, or a watermelon. The profile is generally slimmer and more tapered toward the tip. This makes the knife feel balanced for the rocking motion and gives the tip agility for piercing and intricate tasks. The Santoku, by contrast, is a more compact tool. Its blade length usually hovers around 7 inches, though you can find them in 5-inch versions as well. While it's shorter, the blade is often taller from spine to edge than a chef's knife of a similar length. This extra height gives you more knuckle clearance from the cutting board, which is comfortable during that up and down chopping motion. It also means the Santoku has a wider blade face, which is useful for scooping up chopped vegetables to transfer them to the pan. The shorter length can feel less intimidating and more maneuverable to some cooks, especially if you're working in a smaller kitchen with limited counter space. Cutting technique. This is where the blade shape and length translate directly into motion. With a chef's knife, the primary technique is the rock chop. You plant the tip on the board, press down with your guiding hand on the spine for stability, and use your dominant hand to rock the heel of the blade up and down through a pile of herbs, garlic, or onions. It's an efficient way to process large volumes of ingredients quickly. The pointed tip also excels at draw cuts for slicing meat and precision work like deveining shrimp or making fine incisions. It's a dynamic, flowing style of cutting. The Santoku encourages a totally different approach. Its flat edge is optimized for a push cut or a tap chop. Instead of rocking, you start with the knife slightly forward and push it down and through the ingredient in a single, clean motion, lifting it off the board to reset for the next slice. This technique gives you incredible control and produces exceptionally clean, uniform slices, which is why the Santoku is prized for preparing vegetables and delicate fish for dishes where presentation matters. Because the blade makes full contact with the board at once, you're less likely to create those annoying accordion cuts where vegetables are still connected by a thin thread. Blade thickness and grind. Look at the two knives from the spine down, and you'll notice another subtle but important difference. Western chefs' knives are often forged to be a bit thicker and more robust, especially at the spine and toward the heel. This gives them the heft and durability needed for more demanding tasks like breaking down a chicken or cutting through the hard rind of a winter squash. They're built to be workhorses that can handle a bit of abuse. Japanese knives, including the Santoku, are generally thinner and feature a more acute edge geometry. This thinner blade slices through food with less friction and wedging, allowing for those paper-thin slices of cucumber or tomato. The trade-off is that a thinner blade is inherently more delicate. You wouldn't want to use a fine Santoku to chop through bones or frozen foods, as you risk chipping the fine edge. This is a blade that values sharpness and precision over brute force. Edge angle and sharpness tendencies. The difference in thickness leads directly to how these knives are sharpened. A typical Western chef's knife is sharpened to an angle of around 15 to 20 degrees per side. This creates a durable edge that can withstand the rigors of rock chopping and heavier tasks without dulling too quickly. It's a great balance between sharpness and resilience. Santokus, on the other hand, are often sharpened to a more acute angle, typically between 10 and 15 degrees per side. A steeper angle creates a significantly sharper feeling edge that glides through food with astonishing ease. Some traditional Santokus even feature a single bevel grind, meaning one side is flat and the other is sharpened to an extremely fine angle, a bit like a chisel. This is the ultimate in precision, but it requires more skill to use and maintain. Bottom line, the Santoku is often designed for a sharper, more surgical edge, while the chef's knife favors a more durable, all-purpose edge. Food release features. If you've ever sliced a potato and had the starchy piece cling to the side of your blade for dear life, you understand the problem of food sticking. Santokus often have a built-in solution for this: Granton edges. Those are the oval-shaped divots or dimples running along the side of the blade. The idea is that these hollows create tiny air pockets between the blade and the food, reducing friction and allowing slices to fall away more easily. This is particularly effective with wet, starchy foods like potatoes, cucumbers, and summer squash. Most Western chef's knives have a flat, plain face. They rely on a good cutting technique and the blade's polish to help release food. While Granton edges are sometimes added to chef's knives, they are a signature feature of the Santoku and are deeply integrated into its identity as a master vegetable slicer. Choosing between them. So, after all that, which knife belongs in your hand? There's no single right answer, but here's how to decide. If you are the kind of cook who values versatility above all, if you love the fluid, efficient rhythm of the rock chop for mincing herbs and garlic, and if you need a single knife that can confidently move from dicing an onion to breaking down a chicken, the chef's knife is your answer. Its robust build and pointed tip make it a true all-around performer that can handle both power and precision. It's the undisputed champion of the Western kitchen for a reason. On the other hand, if your cooking style is more about precision, if you find joy in perfectly uniform slices and clean, straight dicing, and if you primarily work with vegetables, fish, and boneless meats, the Santoku will likely feel like an extension of your hand. Its shorter, lighter, and more nimble feel, combined with its push-cutting prowess and nonstick features, make it a tool of incredible finesse. If you favor an up and down chopping motion over a rocking one, the Santoku will feel more natural and intuitive. Ultimately, the best choice is the one that complements the way you already love to cook.